A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a big thank you for coming to the Brand and Leadership Conclave 2017, organized by White Page International, a global brand consulting firm. Can you imagine the market size of pregnancy-related products in the US? It's $266.6 million, which, by the way, is at par with the annual revenue of all of India's IT sector put together. To understand what is really admired in the city of brands, we spoke to people about purposes and practices that make brands prosperous. Here's what they had to say.
Innovation. Okay. User-friendly.
So while we're growing up, we're surrounded by brands anyway. Like if our mom and our dad buy something, we just tend to keep using the same thing over and over again.
Because honestly, the products aren't that differentiable. So if I'm not differentiating between the products, because they are quite similar, then the influence that the brand has socially is important for me.
Research and create a product which will fill a void in my life and not give me something which I need to adjust to and adapt to and create space for.
This is one such initiative by White Page International that recognizes and honors 50 most admired brands and business leaders in the country. After months of rigorous research and evaluation by a panel of honorable jury members with the likes of Mr. Ashish Bhasin, Mr. Rohit Ori, Mr. Sunil Lulla, and other esteemed industry experts, we are here to throw some light on the brands that have made it to the list of top 50.
It's not an easy task to look at so many parameters for so many different brands, apply your mind, and I think they've really worked hard to do it. There was a lot of groundwork done by the organizers, so to some extent our life was a little easier and it was organized well and it was online. The auditors were pretty sharp, and in many cases we were directly dealing with the auditors so that even the organizers didn't know. So it was quite a robust process. If I only say good things, I would be not doing full justice. So I would also like to state that, I think you're better builders of brands than presenters of brands. In many a time, I could get a sense that, I'm sure other jurors did as well, there was a lot more to the story than what you were able to tell. Probably your entries are filled by people who are more used to filling up large Excel sheets for sales reporting or something like that. But, every brand is a story. Every company is a story. And ultimately is how you tell a story. There are human beings on the other side who are judging it. While you need a lot of facts and figures, you need a lot of proof for what you're saying, but you also need to present that story in a manner that it will resonate with the person on the other side. So the one tip I would like to leave before I end this on behalf of the jury and certainly on behalf of myself is that for next year or next time, whenever you're entering an award entry, keep this in mind, that you probably have a better story to tell than what you're telling. Even if you're telling it good enough, there could be a way of improving it. There's no harm in making it interesting, highlighting key facts which you would want everybody to know, and just having tons and tons of run-on data or run-on sort of material is not necessarily the best way of what you want to present. And all you wonderful people for participating in all of this, and congratulations to all the winners, and thank you very much for putting in all that effort and building these brands around which not only do our lives revolve, but for those of us from advertising, our lives sort of subsist on that. So well done, and thank you for that.
PwC is one of the leading consulting and accounting firm globally. Amongst the various services that we provide to our clients, one of the important services that we give is we assist our clients in managing these kind of events in a transparent and fair manner. That has been our role in this event as well. Amongst the list of 500 brands, which the 200 were shortlisted by whitelist management. So the shortlisting was done on the basis of an year-on-year growth, annual turnover, and market share. The 200 brands which were shortlisted were then given to the juries, the esteemed jury, to come up with their assessment for each of these brands on other predetermined criteria. We have been involved in tabulating these scores and then coming up with what are the top 50 most admired brands. I want to assure you that this has been an independent and absolutely transparent process. I wouldn't take more time on this. Congratulations to all the winners, and thank you, White Page, for making us part of this event. Thank you.
What I see the most important thing here, I don't know how many of you grew up like I did in the 80s and 90s. So for me, even today, a bulb is a Bajaj. For me, even today, a mineral water bottle is Bisleri. Even today, for me, noodles is Maggi noodles. So that is the brand recall that we are talking about. It is the branding which has been drilled into our head by these so very good companies, and with their products which have been consistently been good over the year, not over the years, but the decades now. Let's take the food processing industry, for example. UK, I don't know how many of you know that UK actually leads in frozen products, which is Indian frozen products like onion bhajis and frozen pizzas and frozen samosas, which is actually now exported from the UK to India. And they have set up their factories in Gujarat. You would know that we manufacture Gujarati chevda and Bombay halwa and the Balti mix in Leicester. So these are the things which are already existing in UK, but opens more doors for us to bring those technologies to India. In the UK, there are about 62 companies which are processing food and supplying to the population of UK, which is only 65 million, whereas India is a country of 1.3 billion people. Imagine the technology transfer here. Imagine those cold storage units which are coming up by the government now in India. If you have a food processing unit next to it, all the tomatoes which go for a waste can actually be made into a puree or tomato ketchup. Or for that matter, all those apples which are going for a waste can be straight away put into a food processing unit and converted into juice or puree, which can be consumed by Indians or exported out of India.
Hello, I'm Professor Malcolm MacDonald, and I'm speaking to you from the beautiful city of London in the United Kingdom. I'm an advisory non-executive director of White Page International, an agency whose life revolves around brands. I support them because the group combines strategic thinking and creative excellence in a way that turns ordinary brands into great brands. To get these top 50 brands, a meticulous research methodology and selection process has to take place. Over 500 brands were researched and evaluated across 15 industries and 25 subcategories. As a professor at 6 of the world's top business schools, I'm dedicated to world-class brands. They innovate around core benefits. The whole organization lives the brand at all customer touch points. They make it easy to buy through distribution and penetration. They make the brand famous and distinctive through relevant communications. And more importantly, they create superior profits and sustainable competitive advantage. All of this is great for the country's economic welfare. Well done, all the winning brands. Please accept my apologies for not being able to join you in person in this celebration today. And while saying goodbye, I would like to take this opportunity to offer our gratitude to the honorary jury members for giving their time and expertise to this initiative. And I ask them to come onto the stage along with the guests of honor to unveil the 5th edition of Admired Brands. Goodbye from Professor Malcolm MacDonald in London.
I'd like to call on stage Mr. Ashish Paseen, Mr. Rohit Ohri, Ms. Kavita Lakhani, Mr. Manoj Matthew Abraham, Mr. Taha Coburn, Mr. Sunil Lalla, and Ms. Pallavi Godbole to unveil the 2016-2017 edition of India's Most Admired Brands.